Welcome to AnSRS4U Express, Export Controls. This short lesson will introduce you to export controls. Export control laws and regulations establish the conditions under which controlled information and items can be transmitted to anyone outside the United States and to foreign persons and entities in the United States. They also restrict or prohibit the transaction of business with certain countries, persons, and entities that have been sanctioned by federal agencies as a threat to important U.S. interests. Exports occur when a controlled physical item or controlled information is transmitted outside the borders of the United States, or when a controlled physical item or controlled information is transmitted to a foreign person in the United States. Furthermore, the transfer of technology, software, or technical data to foreign nationals inside the United States is considered a deemed export. A deemed export is the number one export control risk to colleges and universities. This can involve release of information by tours of laboratories and visual inspections, published research, emails, and oral conversations. There are several exclusions to export control laws and regulations. The fundamental research exclusion is a broad-based general legal exclusion to protect technical information, but not tangible items involved in research from being controlled by export controls. In other words, research qualifying as fundamental research is not subject to export controls. Definition of fundamental research means research in science, engineering, or mathematics, the results of which are ordinarily published and shared broadly within the research community, and for which the researchers have not accepted restrictions for proprietary or national security reasons. This applies to controlled information, but not to controlled physical items, and it does not apply outside the U.S. University research will not qualify as fundamental research if the university or researcher accepts any restrictions on the publication of the information resulting from the research, other than pre-publication reviews by research sponsors to prevent inadvertent divulging of proprietary information provided to the researcher by the sponsor, or to ensure the publication will not compromise patent rights of the sponsor. There is also a public domain public information exclusion. The public domain exclusion applies to information that is published and that is generally accessible or available to the public through sales at newsstands and bookstores, or via subscriptions which are available without restriction to any individual who desires to obtain or purchase the published information, libraries open to the public, patents available at any patent office, unlimited distribution at a conference, meeting, seminar, trade show, generally accessible to the public. The education information exclusion covers commonly taught information in courses listed in catalogs and associated teaching laboratories of academic institutions in the United States. Certain sponsor agreement provisions may negate the fundamental research exclusion and require seeking a license or undertaking specialized monitoring or other activities. If the sponsor maintains the right to restrict or approve the publication or release of research results, other than the standard customary brief delay to protect the sponsor's confidential information or to preserve the patentability of an invention. If the research data or other research results will be owned by the sponsor, statements that export control restrictions will apply to the research. Incorporation by reference of federal acquisition regulations or other federal agency regulations which impose specific controls on access to or dissemination of the research results. Restrictions on the participation of research personnel based on citizenship or national origin. Statements that the sponsor anticipates providing export-controlled items or information for use in the research. Equipment or encrypted software is required to be deliverable as part of the project. The research will involve the use of export-controlled items or technical information obtained from a third party. There is controlled, unclassified information clause, or the research will take place outside the United States. for example, attending conferences, shipping items international, or international collaboration. The university and other system members maintain their own export control compliance programs to ensure compliance with export control laws and regulations. Individuals should coordinate with their appropriate export control office. For sponsored research, this would normally be the Texas A&M University system entity that is listed on the proposal or on the award document. We hope this short video on export controls has given you a better understanding of export control requirements and why it is important to closely review the scope of work and the research agreement to determine if it will be subject to export control requirements.